Hi guys, viewers and our friends of this channel. So, are you all with me to start something very interesting again, in this series? Good, right? So, hope you are enjoying this series. So, once again, the most important question to remind, are you all ready to become industry level software developer? Because that is the theme of this channel. Yes? Good. Let's do it then, right? So, I'm so excited to take you through this video lecture and let's do it now, right? So, today's lecture is about multiple screens, lesson number 3, presenting and dismissing view controllers and navigation controllers in storyboard using code. We will be using Xcode version 11.4.1 for the practicals and the Apple developer docs for referencing, right? So it's going to be something very interesting, guys. And this is lesson number 3 of multiple screens. So this is a continuation of lesson 2. So if you haven't done lesson 1 and 2, you have to do it first, because I'm going to carry forward that project and add something here, right? So you have to first finish that and take the project forward, right? And also, if you are new to any of these concepts, please look at the other videos which you need to have a look in this series, right? So let's start. Let's look at the plan. So in this session, you will learn a discussion. First of all, we'll do a small discussion about building an iOS app with storyboards. So that is one technique. So that means using storyboards and done with some coding. Then there's another technique of building iOS apps without using storyboards. Some programmers prefer that, right? So without using storyboards and done completely by coding from the scratch, right? In this video, we are going to use the first approach, that is building an iOS app with storyboards and then with some coding. And we are going to discuss about presenting and dismissing view controllers using storyboards and using code, like the first approach. Then programmatically present a view controller modally, and then we are also going to discuss presenting and dismissing navigation controllers, because if you had a look at the lesson 2, the previous lesson in this under the dealing with multiple windows, we introduce view controllers and navigation controllers, right? So look at the previous lesson if you want to have a look at it, lesson number 2. So in this lesson, we are going to program, we are going to present and dismiss navigation controllers using code. So this is, we are going to program, right? And pushing view controllers into navigation. So once you have a navigation controller, you can push and pop the view controllers. And the practical and we are going to do the practical code examples, right? So the previous lesson 1 and lesson 2 related to multiple screens was done without any programming or without any code, right? Just using storyboard segues and the storyboard embedding your navigation controller. But this one, the lesson 3, is we are doing the same thing programmatically using programming, because always we can't just do with storyboard segues, because if you need to embed some logic, some validations, you have to know how to do it programmatically. So that's what we are going to do, guys, in this lecture, right? So lesson plan is we are going to do it in a practical manner, presenting and dismissing this what we said, right? Okay, hold on. Yeah, no. So lesson plan. Now let's move and start doing the practicals, right? But before that, so in this session, so the first point, some programmers prefer to do it using storyboard. Some programmers prefer to do it without using storyboard if they want more flexibility, and if they want dig into detail and a lot of custom activities, then they will probably use it without storyboards, right? uh, so in this example, we are going to use with storyboards, just to remind you, and we are going to start with the third bullet point, right? That is presenting and dismissing view controllers using storyboards, right? That's what we are going to start now. So let's go and start with the practical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the previous project, right? So which we did in lesson 2, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to this is that, right? Lesson 2. So I'm going to make a copy of it. Command C, Command V, just a simple copy, and so I'm going to call it as lesson 3, bit lengthier name, right? I'm going to call it as lesson 3 dealing with this, storyboard, right, using code. So let's open this project in Xcode, right? So I'm going to open that project which we stopped, previously using storyboard, right? So let me go, right? So I'm just say on Xcode, just say file open, and then just go into the previous project, right? So I'm on the multiple screens. Basically, I'm going to open a copy of it. I need to do one small thing. Doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. But I would like to call this project name as same. I would like to call it as, so I can see it, right? When I open it, right? So I would like to see that, right? So I'm going to go into Xcode once again and say file open, right? So why I did that is because I just took a copy of the previous project to continue it, rather than I would have continued on the same, but I want to keep that separate and do it new, but taking a fresh copy, right? So basically, video lectures, right? Multiple screens, so lesson 3, yeah, all good, all good. So I got it open, right? So let's see how this is going to be. I'm going to expand, right, the previous one, and let's go to the storyboard of the previous project, right? Make sure you look at that previous video if you haven't done so, right? So if you look at this is how it looks. It looked, when we finished the previous project, right? Hope you all can remember this. This is where the place where we stopped it. So in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the same layout, same view controllers and navigation controllers, because that I need, But what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this segues, because I want to show you how to programmatically, do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that I'm going to click this storyboard segues and delete. So I deleted that. Then I'm clicking here and I'm deleting that. So I'm just deleting only the storyboard segues, if you can see. So I just made it little small. So all these segues, so the storyboard segues, I'm selecting and just clicking the delete button, right? Because I'm going to do it programmatically, as I said to you, right? Programmatically. So now I got the same layout. I got the, what are these? The yellow one is a view controller, green is a view controller. Then this one over here is a navigation controller, the ash color one. And then on top of that, I want to load this 3 orange view controllers, one after the other. And then, okay guys, so now if I run this, because I removed the segues, I will not see any connection happening. Let me show that to you first, right? Let me show that to you first. So if I click next, nothing happens because I have removed. Guys, see, nothing happens because I'm clicking, because I removed. Let's do the programmatic part. So to do this programmatically, first thing is now, so normally now when you have multiple view controllers, what we do is we will be having different view controller source files for each view controller, right? Something very important for you to keep in mind, right? Which means, okay, if you can't understand what I'm telling, I will show it this way. Now this yellow one is the first view controller which we had in the project, right? So if you look at this yellow view controller, I'm showing you, if I click on this, if I click on the view controller, and if I go to the property palette, and if I check identity inspector, if I click on show identity inspector, see, this yellow view controller is attached to a custom class called view controller. If you look here, look at where my mouse is moved, right? View controller. So this custom class view controller is what I see in my left panel over here as view controller.h and the view controller.m. So this view controller.h and .m is attached, right, in the storyboard. If I go back to the storyboard, and if I click on my yellow color view controller, and if I look at the class inspector, like identity inspector, I can see that this yellow view controller is attached to a view controller class. But if I look at the green view controller, now if I click on this, the second one I added, can you see it's not attached? It's not, there's no custom class connected to it, right? So what I have to do now is what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect a custom class for the green view controller, so I can use that to write code, any code. For example, if I want to write code for the option 1 button, if I want to write code for the option 1 button, I will have to write that in the relevant custom class, but I don't have a custom class, so I can't write the code. I need to have a custom class, so I'm going to add a custom class, right? As a best practice, as a standard, we will be having separate view controllers dealing with. That's the best practice, right? Rather than writing everything in one view controller, the best practice is you will be using multiple view controller source files. Then same, I will have to put another one for this orange view controller, this one, right? Still, it's, you look at this, it's not connected. Look at it, there's no custom class, right? It's empty. You can see something called UI view controller, but no, that means this says you have to put a UI view controller, but there's a big difference. For example, if it's really connected, and if you click here, you will see the class name exactly. See, in white color, right? In white color font, you can see the view custom class connected view controller. But if I click the second one, there's no white color font. It's ash, meaning you have not connected. But what it say here is you can put a UI view controller. That's what it says here. But there's no class if I click. But if I come here and click, there's a class here, right? The view controller. But what this says, no, there's no. But what it says, you can put a UI view controller. Same for all the view controllers. If I click, they are empty. So now I'm going to show you, to start with, how to do it for the green color view controller, right? So I'm going to do it now for the green color view controller to start with. Okay, so how do I do it is, first of all, I have to create a Coco class, right? So I'm going to select the project. I'm going to right click and say new file, right? New file on the project and say Coco Touch class, right? Next. And then I have to say what type of subclass do I need. So for the green one is a UI view controller. So because of that, I want it to be a subclass of UI view. So I'm all good with that. So I'm going to say, but I'm going to give the name as view controller 2, okay, or view controller, how can I say, green. So I know that it's the green one, right? So the view controller 1, I can call it as, yeah. So what I can say is, I can say this is view controller green, right? Just for example, right? View controller green. Next, right? And just say create. And I would also like to create a view controller yellow, so that I know it's the yellow one. So I'm going to right click and say new file for the yellow one. Though I have one, I'm going to create a new one. So view controller, let us say yellow. It's again a subclass of UI view controller, right? In Objective C. So create. Then I would like to have one for the orange, right? So then I will say, but I got 3 of them, right? 3 orange. So I will say 1, 2, 3 for them, right? So once again, right click, new file, Coco Touch class. Next, view controller. I would have say, I can probably, yeah, doesn't matter. Or I would like to call it as from the beginning, say orange, right? Say the other ones I wrote it then, but doesn't matter. I would say orange view controller, or let's be consistent, right? So let's say view controller orange, right? View controller orange, UI view but this is orange 1, right? So I want it as orange 1 for the first orange color screen. Then another one for this next one. So right click, new file, Coco Touch class. Next, say orange number 2, view controller orange number 2, create. So I'm creating a view controller for each view controller, so that the coding for each view controller will be written in the relevant class, which I'm going to attach for each of the view controller. So view controller 3, right? Orange 3. So I got the 3. Then I got what's it, that color, the purple, is it? So yeah, purple. So I got purple, right? Purple, PURPLE, right? So I'm going to right click on the project, right click, new file, Coco Touch class, iOS. Make sure it's iOS Coco Touch. So click next. So this time I'm going to say view controller purple, right? I'm just giving the name, so it's PURPLE, purple. It's easy for us to figure it out. Purple, view purple 1, right? Next, create. Then purple 2 and purple 3. Okay, my friends, right? Hope you all are enjoying this and be motivated to become software engineers, right? Purple 2, right? View control Purple 2. In a short period of time, we'll make you a real good engineer. So the UI view controller, right? So create. And then the Purple 3, right? New file. Next, going to make the Purple C. So I created all the view controllers, right? Good, good. So let's look at the storyboard, right? Sorry, this one. So if you look here, now the thing is, I got created all yellow, green, orange. But how about this too? The navigation controllers, right? So I got two navigation controllers, as you can see, right? So I need to attach classes for the navigation controllers as well, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small thing, which I'm going to add some extra code now. So I'm going to add two classes for the navigation controllers. So once again, I'm going to select this. There's a right click, new file, right? Cocoa Touch class. But this time it's not a UI view controller what I want, right? What I want is a navigation controller, because I will cancel and show you. Because if I click let us say a view controller, and if I look at the identity inspector, it's expecting custom class of UI view controller, right? But if I click on a navigation controller, it's expecting custom classes UI navigation controller. If you can see here, so I have to create a class of UI navigation controller. So UI navigation controller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, new file, and Cocoa Touch class, but I need a UI navigation. So not a UI view controller. So I need a UI subclass of UI navigation controller, right? So I need a UI navigation controller, right? UI navigation controller, right? So I can call it as, if I want a view controller, or I can call it as, well, navigation controller, right? So I will call it as navigation controller say one, or orange, right? So the one that is for orange, right? Orange series, and another navigation controller for the purple series. So I can call it as navigation controller 1 for, I will say, underscore for orange series, right? Navigation controller 1, that is for orange series, right? A UI navigation controller, right? And then the next one is going to be new file, Touch class, next UI navigation controller, subclass of, but this time I'm going to call it as, okay, this is navigation controller 2. This time I'm just putting it purple, so I know I'm going to use it for the purple series of view controllers, purple. Cool, right? Good. So we got all the stuff ready, right? So what's the next thing? The next thing is to attach all of them into the view controllers on the storyboard. So now it's to attach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the first view controller, yellow one. I already got so if you're in attribute inspector, you have to go to the identity inspector over here, right? Identity inspector. Then only you will see the custom class. So I already have a view controller.h, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use the view controller. What's it? I got view controller. When I type, it will come, not green, right? I need yellow. It will figure out that I got this, right? So I'll just keep that, right? View controller yellow. And one more important thing, at the same time, you have to do one thing. You have to give a storyboard ID for this, right? So the easiest thing is to give the same class name as the storyboard ID, and restoration ID, we'll talk about that later, is to say that use the same restoration ID, right? So that's, you have to do this for all the view controllers now, right? So I did it for the yellow. I'm going to go for the green view controller. So once again, this time it's not view controller yellow. I got the class name as view controller green. Then just copy this, put it here, click. So you have to do the same for all the view controllers, right? You do this for all the view controllers. So click on this, right? So this is cancel. Hold on. view controller orange 1. Yeah, this is view controller orange 1. I want same storyboard ID. So what is the storyboard ID? You will see that I'm going to use this when I'm writing the code, right? Then I will tell you, right? I'm going to use it when I'm writing the code. Especially from a code, if you are to access this view controller, you will have to access it through the storyboard ID in the program, right? That's what I'm going to do very soon, right? So I got this sorted. Then I'm going to go for this, click this. This is going to be the view controller orange 2. This, the ID is also the same, right? Then final one, view controller orange 3. So you are attaching the classes you created, the CocoaTouch classes. That's what you are doing. The CocoaTouch classes which you created just a little while ago, now you are attaching them to the view controllers in the storyboard. So this is going to be, if you remember, we created purple 1, purple 2, purple 3 classes. So I'm going to connect them into these 3 view controllers. So it's a straightforward task, right? So this is important. This best practice of doing it is to do it this way. Just click it and then say view controller purple number 3, right? And put the storyboard purple number 3, view storyboard ID, right? So all good, right? All looks good. So, and 2 more things. So I had to do the same thing for navigation controller. So I had to click on the navigation controller, right? And then click on this icon over here, navigation controller, and then go to the custom class. But this time it's going to be navigation controller, right? So the class is it's auto detecting navigation controller 1, because it's orange series. I'm happy to call it as navigation controller orange. So it will come automatically, right? Then say use the same storyboard. Then for the second one, this is the purple navigation controller I created. So if I type navigation controller, it comes as orange, but if I type purple P, right? So it's not 1, it's 2. So that's why it didn't come. Navigation controller 2, it will fill it automatically. So I got it, navigation controller 2 purple. So I put the same storyboard ID and the restoration ID. Great guys, wonderful, wonderful, right? So we did that initial part. So we have done something very interesting now by creating these custom classes, CocoaTouch classes, and attaching them to the storyboard view controls and the navigation controls. Why did we do it this way? Is because if you are writing a code for the let us say if you are writing a code for the say for the next button in the yellow one, now you will write this code on view controller yellow, these files .h and .m. Then if you are writing some code, so now you will understand why I did this. If you are writing some code, let us say for the back button in the green, you have to write it inside view controller green.h and view controller green.m. So the code for option 1, option 2, option 3, you will be writing in view controller green.h and m, same, right? Okay guys, wonderful, awesome, awesome. So now let's start doing the coding, right? So I will start with clicking the next button, right? So when I click the next, what I want to do is I want to load the green, but this time not using storyboard segues. Very important. This is time coding. So how do you do it? Is I had to write the code for this in the view controller yellow. And one thing, now I don't want this view controller original files, view controller h and m, right? I can delete them actually, right? I can delete them, but let me first create the project and run and do everything and delete them at the end, right? Because I have changed that into yellow, you know, meaning I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to the view controller yellow. So how do I write code for the next button? First of all,